Hi guys, my name's Craig, welcome to Small Farmer Life. Hope you all having an awesome day. And today guys, we're going to talk about buying land without using a solicitor. But before we get into that, if you're thinking about buying any sort of land, agricultural land, woodland, maybe you want to start a small holding, maybe you want to live an off-grid lifestyle, maybe you want to buy some woodland, live in the woodland, get away from the 9 to 5 grand. If you're thinking about doing anything like that guys, think about hitting the subscribe button. And go back, check out some of the videos I've already uploaded to the channel. There's so much information in those videos that will help you on your journey. And also think about hitting the bell button for future videos. Today, guys, I want to talk about a question somebody asked me through Instagram. Now, I can't answer all the questions I get asked. I answer a couple, and some of them make for good videos. So today, guys, we're going to talk about, should you use a solicitor when buying land? Now, most people that I've spoke to think they need to use a solicitor to buy land, which just isn't the case. Whether it be a house or a piece of land, you don't need to use a solicitor. And I'll tell you what solicitors are there for. So solicitors are there for anti-money laundering laws. They're there so they can write a contract up, which you can easily write up. You can probably download one off a website or a website. They set dates from where the money has to be transferred from the buyer to the seller's account, and they liaise with the seller's solicitor and your solicitor and that sort of thing. And they also do lots of deed checks. The forms that you've got to fill in with the land registry website to transfer land over to yourself or anybody else is the TR1 form and the AP1 form. The TR1 form transfers the title's deeds to your name, and the AP1 form gets your name in the land registry database because anybody who purchases or exchanges land since 1990 has to be registered in the land database. Now, if it's your first time buying property and you're worried about all the checks and that sort of thing, then I would suggest you actually use a solicitor. But if you're confident in the due diligence that you can do, then what you need to do is get the title deeds of the land that you're looking at, go through those title deeds, make sure you understand all the wording in the title deeds, and your title deeds will probably 99 times out of 100 reference other title deeds, which will have restrictions in those title deeds and also covenants in those title deeds. Whether they're bad or not, you'll just never know until you go back and look at them. So what you'll see is a reference in your title deeds referencing a number of another set of title deeds. So how this happened was because back in the day, land was all connected to the manor house, the local manor house, and over the years, an industrial revolution and all that sort of stuff, farms, small farmhouses and small farm workers' houses got sold off, and they had plenty of land sold off with them. Now, as the state got smaller, more and more deeds were created. So your deed might reference 5, 6, 7 other deeds and has had 7 different sellers who all put something in the deeds, maybe a restriction or a covenant. And if it's referenced in your deed, it'll say you have to abide by restriction in deed C179R or something like that. So what you need to do when you're doing your due diligence to buy land is get the title deeds off the landowner or download them for £3, and any other deeds that those deeds reference, then buy those deeds too. It's only £3 a deed. So it'll cost you 40 quid to put the TR1 form in, and the AP1 form, like I said, the TR1 form is to transfer the title into your name, and the AP1 form is to get you on the land registry website. So if you feel confident enough in doing the due diligence and looking back, and you don't want to pay 1,700 quid, which is what this buyer being quoted from her solicitor, which is a lot of money when you think about it, considering she's not paying that much for the land, and she's new the owner of the land, and she's new the land for quite a long time. So you've got to take that into consideration. If you don't know what has went on with that land, then you might not be as sure. Now, some sellers will have a solicitor and want you to use a solicitor and pay both solicitors' fees. They just do. And you need to understand that if anything goes wrong, it's on your shoulders, not anybody else's, not the seller's shoulders, not anybody who lent you any money. If you've borrowed a loan for the land or anything, it's not on their shoulders, it's on your shoulders. So if you're going to do it, you can do it with land easily. And if you've got cash, it's a quick way to get land into your name instead of waiting months for a solicitor to do basic searches that you could really do. You could have all the deeds right in front of you in one night and you could be reading through them. Now, it might seem like there's a never-ending cycle of deeds, but they're only £3 each and they're going to give you peace of mind. Now, other people will say solicitors do a lot more, but honestly guys, they just become a pain in the backside. They talk really posh. I don't know why, from the areas they come from. It must be the university train or something like that. But yeah, you can buy land without using a solicitor. It's not law to use a solicitor. I'm thinking it would be a bit dodgy if you paid 150 grand in cash to somebody in a bag. But if you've got the cash in your account, you've worked hard for it, and you want to buy a piece of land, and you'll also do a check with a planning department, local planning portal, and check to see if any planning applications have been refused over time and what type of planning applications have been refused over time and will they affect you going forward. So you can use a solicitor and you don't have to use a solicitor because solicitors are covered by professional insurance. So if they get something wrong when they're buying land on your behalf or a house on your behalf, then you can make a claim against them because they didn't do the job properly. They'll get fined, and if your house has lost value or your land has lost value because of their negligence, well, you'll probably get a decrease in the value of your land. But would you have bought the land or property if the solicitor had told you or brought up what was wrong with it? Maybe you thought you had access, turns out you didn't. Solicitor said you did have access, you'd done the necessary checks, and now you don't have access because somebody hasn't abided by covenant or a restriction from using the farm track. So, honest guys, you can buy land and property. You can buy 100 properties without using a solicitor, but you'd probably get flashed straight away for anti-money laundering laws if you did something like that. But buying land, if you've worked hard for your cash and you've got cash in the bank, all you've got to make sure you do is go back to all the deeds that are referencing the owner's deeds who's selling you the land, and then go to the planning portal, make sure where no planning applications have been rejected and knocked back, and if they have, what for, and that sort of thing. So a bit of due diligence, and you only have to pay around about 50 quid to fill out the TR1 form and the AP1 form. Like I say, one transfers the title into your name, so you'll get the land deeds in your name, and then you just get registered with the land registry database. It's as simple as that, guys. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, and you should subscribe, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be notified of more upcoming videos, hit the bell button. My name's Craig, you've been watching Small Farmer Life. Thanks again to all my patrons. Couldn't thank you guys enough. And YouTube members, really appreciate the support. Make sure you take care of yourself, guys. Most of all, take care of the children. Bye for now. See you.